Hi there, this is Jonathan Ginsberg. I'm an Atlanta area Social Security disability attorney. And at the hearings in the Atlanta area, whether it's Atlanta North or downtown or Covington, most of the judges in our district will ask you at the end of your hearing, do you have anything finally you want to tell me? Anything else you want me to know about your case or about you? And it's a chance for you to kind of talk to the judge on a person-to-person level. And again, you don't have to do this. Sometimes you can just say, if you don't want to say anything, say, Your Honor, I think the medical record speaks for itself, and I think my testimony gave you a pretty clear idea of what I'm going through. But if you want to say something to the judge, you don't want to just kind of ramble and talk about your medical problems. That's really not what this is for. This is really for you to give you a chance to talk to the judge one-on-one and really to enhance your credibility is really kind of the main message. And what I would say is something like this. Your Honor, first of all, thank you very much for taking the time to consider my case. I know you have a lot of work to do, and I appreciate the time you've given me today. And second, I want you to know, Judge, that I wouldn't be here if I didn't have to. This has been an incredibly frustrating process. I'm sure you know I've been waiting for a hearing for 2.5, 3 years. Since I applied, it's been almost 3 years. Haven't had any income. That's been very, very stressful to me and my family. If I could have gone back to work, I would have. And I think you can see from my work record that have a very long, consistent work history. I worked for more than 10 years in my last job. And even after I stopped working my main job, I tried to work at a couple of different jobs. And the reason for that is because even if I couldn't work part-time, I was hoping I could work, even though I couldn't work full-time, I was hoping I could work part-time. This has been a financial strain on my family. We were 2 income, now we're 1. We've lost a car, we've lost a house, whatever the hardships have been. You want to go into that. But this has been very, very difficult. It's been embarrassing to me and frustrating that here I am, 53 years old, and I'm dependent on my spouse or my kids or whomever, my parents, to help support me on a day-to-day basis, to buy me food. I've always been very self-sufficient, and now I can't take care of myself. I can't go out to work. And if it wasn't for the consideration of my family, I would be homeless. I mean, that is just an incredible burden for me to bear, given how independent I was. And I've done everything my doctors have told me, and I would love to go back to work. One of the things about not working, Judge, is that you lose your social life, because when you're working, you interact with coworkers, and there's just a give and take, and it just kind of gives your life some meaning. And since I've not been working, a lot of my friends have kind of disappeared. It's really lonely. I mean, sitting at home watching TV all day is just no way to live, and I wouldn't be there. The point I want you to know, Judge, is I wouldn't be here unless I absolutely had to. This is not me. I don't want to think of myself as being disabled. I hate that word. I hate the word disability because I don't like to think of myself that way. And I'm telling you, Judge, if there's a medical advancement, or if I can get medical treatment, and I know that I could become eligible for Medicare if I'm on disability for a period of time, and I can get to the doctor and they can get me to the point where I can work part-time, I'm going to go back. Certainly full-time. This is not where I want to be. I don't see myself as being disabled. Here I'm 50 years old or 53 or 48 or whatever you are, and I don't want to see myself as being disabled. This is simply a temporary problem that I'm going to get past, and I hate the idea of being disabled. And that's kind of the message you want to send to the judge, and really you want to send that message throughout your hearing. Because if you do that, you're telling the judge, you're not here for a free lunch. You're not faking it. You don't want to be here. And judges kind of inherently are going to find that type of person a lot more credible. I think I talked in a previous video that if you have a medical problem that is resolved or is no longer bothering you, tell the judge that. Let him know or her know that your diabetes is now under control, or your back pain went away. You don't want to come across as a complainer. You don't want to come across as a person who says everything is wrong and you've decided you're disabled. You want somebody to pay you. You want to come across as a person who is fighting this every single step of the way. And the last place you want to be is in front of a judge talking about very personal medical problems in a room full of strangers, and that you don't want to be here. And I think if you can do that, you're giving the judge something to think about, and it may tip the balance. And realize judges are going to focus more on the medical evidence, but there's certainly a very big credibility element to disability cases. And if you can show you're a believable, credible person, that you don't want to be here, that you're fighting this every step of the way, I think it could make the difference, or at least make the judge go back and look at that evidence one more time. And in some cases, it could really make a difference as to whether you win or lose. And I know that for a fact because I've had cases where my clients give an impassioned one-to-one plea, if it were, as it were, to the judge at the end of the case. And I didn't think it was going that well. And you could sort of see the judge's attitude change right in front of you. And we ended up with favorable decisions. So it can make a difference. So that's my take on what you should say if you decide to speak to the judge. And nothing wrong with practicing that. That's something that we practice in my office as we're doing our pre-hearing conference. We practice what to say to the judge at the end of the hearing. And there's no reason you shouldn't practice and have something prepared so that you know what you're going to say. But it needs to come across as being pretty much spontaneous, but it doesn't mean you should have thought about it beforehand. So tell me what you think. Have you been at a hearing? Have you tried this? Have you had a problem with something where you said to the judge, you said something to the judge, you kind of regret that you said, or you had something said to a judge and you felt it did make a difference? I'd like to know what you think about the whole idea. Should you say something, or is it better to kind of let the record speak for itself? Leave me a comment below. I read all the comments and I respond to everybody, so I really like to know kind of what your thoughts are, and I'd like to make this kind of a community where we can exchange ideas as to what is working. I think it's important. Disability is becoming very difficult, and the more we can share ideas that are working, the better. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube, like on Facebook, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like our Facebook page. I'm putting a lot of things out there, not just videos, but I'm putting articles I find, or comments from other attorneys I think are very useful, or even articles from blogs that I think you might find useful. So please do like our Facebook page so you get those updates. Visit my website. It's SSD Answers, like Social Security Disability, ssdanswers.com/Atlanta, and there you will find a link to my free Secrets to Winning Disability Survival Kit. A lot of good information there about how to win disability and how to stay on it if you get reviewed. And you can also ask me for a free case evaluation if you are not yet represented. I'd be happy to take a look at the facts of your case. So hope you found this helpful. Again, I'm Jonathan Ginsberg, and I do look forward to hearing from you soon. Thanks a lot. Hi, this is Jonathan Ginsberg, and I hope you found this video helpful. If you'd like to know more about how to win your Social Security disability case, I'd like to invite you to download my Secrets to Getting Approved Early Survival Kit that I created just for people like you. Currently, I'm making the Survival Kit available at no cost, and I encourage you to grab your copy now. Some of the topics I cover include: how do I know if I have a case? Is it the right time for me to file my claim? 9 common mistakes that can doom your case. The 3 must-have arguments you use to win your case. And a topic that every disability claimant wants to know: how to avoid trick questions from the judge. If you or a loved one need to win Social Security disability benefits, you'll find the Survival Kit essential reading. Download your Survival Kit right now and at no cost. Just visit ssdanswers.com/survival and sign up. It's that easy. Please act now. And as always, I wish you the best.